All right, so today we're going to solve story problems with the way that I showed the students yesterday. So this video is for parents to help their kids or kids if they need help. So here's what we're going to do for all of our problems today. So question number one, Tatsaken enlarged the size of a photo to a height of 18 inches. What is the new width of it? What is the new width if it was originally 2 inches tall and 1 inch wide? All right, so here's what we talked about in class yesterday, and this is the way I want all these problems done, and this is the work they have to show. So the first thing we're going to do in problem number one is we got to go in and we got to find what I call the true statement, something that compares something to something else, but it's my true statement. And when I read this, my true statement is this: the new width of it. We want to find the new width, and it tells us this, that it was originally 2 feet tall and 1 inch wide. So that's my true statement. So over here, I'm going to show my work. So I've got this idea that I have 2 inches, and the labels are the important stuff. So this thing is 2 inches tall, and it is 1 inch wide. And that's important for the labels, and you'll see why here in just a second. All right, so here's my true statement. My picture starts out as 2 inches tall, 1 inch wide. So that's my true statement. Now, the question that we're trying to find out in this is what happens if I change the height to 18 inches? So my new height is going to be 18 inches. So if I'm talking about height, which of these is height? Well, that's how tall it is. So here's what I'm going to do. Since height and tall, it's talking about tallness of it, I'm going to put my 18 inches on top over here. I'm just going to slide over here and make this 18 inches. And instead it's 18 inches, the height is, I'm just going to say it's 18 inches tall, which means the same thing. Once I've got this set up, now the math kind of does its own thing. How can I go from 2 inches tall to 18 inches tall? Well, I think I can just multiply this by 9, and that will give me my 18 inches tall. We know from years and years of teachers beating this into our heads that if I multiply the top by 9, then we also have to multiply the bottom by 9. So in this, 2 times 9 is 18 inches. 1 times 9 is 9. So this is going to be 9 inches wide. So in my new picture, if it's 18 inches tall, then it's going to be 9 inches wide. The key is come up with a true statement. Make sure you put labels on it. All right. We put our thing we know over here, and then we just kind of talk our way through the rest of the math. All right. So question number 2. Let me get rid of this stuff. Actually, it'd be easier if I just do this. So question number 2. A frame is 9 inches wide and 6 inches tall. If it is reduced to a width of 3 inches, then how tall will it be? So once again, I'm going to start with my true statement. I know in this frame, it is 9 inches wide and it's 6 inches tall. So that's my true statement. I'm comparing how wide it is to how tall it is. So my true statement is 9 inches. Whoops, that should be an N. So this is 9 inches wide. And if it's 9 inches wide, then I know that it has to be 6 inches tall. So the key is start out with your true statement. Now, in this question, I want to find out, well, what happens if I shrink it down to 3 inches wide? So I go back over here, 3 inches wide. The top is talking about wide. So up on top, I'm going to put my 3 inches wide. And the key is making sure to put it on the correct place. Since this is talking about how wide, this has to talk about how wide. Now that I've got this set up, now we can just sit back and let the math tell us what to do. How do I go from 9 inches to 3 inches? Well, in this problem, I can divide by 3. That gives me 3 inches. If I divide the top by 3, I then have to divide the bottom by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and my label down here is inches tall. So I know if my new picture is 3 inches wide, it's now going to be 2 inches tall. The key to this is putting the labels on, all right? Writing your work, showing how you get somewhere, and that will help you tell you what math to do here. All right, question number 3. The money used in Saudi Arabia is called a rial. The exchange rate is 4 rials to $1. How many rials you would receive if you exchange $5? All right, so once again, I'm going to start with my true statement. And my true statement is this, that 4 reals is equal to $1. So I start out with that. So I've got my 4 reals. With my 4 reals, I know that that is going to be the same thing as $1. Hold on one second. If I want to get to $5, there's my true statement with labels. I want to get myself to $5. So now the math is all set. What do I do to get to 1 to 5? I multiply by 5. So I have to multiply this by 5. Gives me my 20 reals. So if you struggle with your homework today, I'm hoping that this is going to help. So true statement with labels. Thank you.